everyone be very, very quiet. Thanks for the string of bits, man. Way to take out the Twitch chat. As per my usual lately, I'm just starting a little bit early, just to make sure everything's working. Streamlabs OBS just had like a kind of a major update, so things are a little bit different now. So I wanted to make sure everything was going smoothly. If you know what I'm saying. It's me. It is I. It is I. Swoons. You guys are seriously silly. You know that? Hello. Hello, everyone. Smallman, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. 3 months in a row. Holla at ya, boy. Well, of course, I'll start the show officially in you know, a few more minutes. Just doing a little pre-show hangout, pre-show zen, pre-show making things are working correctly, and eating lumpia. Wow, yeah, the bot was on top of it, the Discord today. That was only like 2 minutes. 2, maybe 3 minutes. Hello, Jay. You made it, Woot. Can I have food? I mean, yeah. You'd have to come get the food that I'm having. The food I'm having is actually not even very good. If I'm being totally honest. This place kind of butchered this batch of lumpia, and that makes me sad. Content, please. It's coming. The show hasn't officially started yet. This is kind of just a little pre-show banter / hangout / making sure things are working properly. Habuman says, is this one of those Korean streams where they just eat? I think you mean a mukbang. And unfortunately, no, it's not. I should totally do that someday, though. That would be great. Any review samples today? Or any sample review today? I need to check my mail. After the show, I'm going to check my mail and see if my Holy Panda samples have arrived from Massdrop. They might have. I'm not sure. I don't even have tracking on them. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens after the show. I'll check my mail. And hopefully, Holy Pandas will be in there. But, you know, we can only do so much. Geo gifts a tier 1 sub to Neurowinter. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for that. We'll start the show just a few minutes here, guys. Wait for a little bit more people to roll in. That's another reason why I like to start early. People can get in a little bit earlier, a little bit faster. One day I'll slowly catch up to Olivia. I don't even know if I can see how many subs a person is gifted. I don't think. Up your volume output? Alright, give me a second. How about that, guys? Is that better? Just upped it by about 10, and I moved the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. Better? Yes. All right. I don't want to be overbearingly loud, because you know if I'm talking about an exciting topic, I like to get really animated about it. I whispered to you. Okay. Better. All right. Too loud now / sarcasm. All right. You guys can all hear me fine now, right? Now you guys got me worried about this audio level thing. I could still go a little bit louder if I have to. This is good? Okay, cool. I'll keep it at this level then. Alright, now that we're just passing the 6 p.m. Pacific time mark, I think I will officially start the show now. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack. I am your host, Quakems, and it is December 13th, 2018. And boy, do we have a lot of things to talk about today. So, we have, unlike last week, we actually have a very full news doc this week. So, if you guys are news hounds like I am, then you'll definitely want to, stay tuned, not go anywhere, and check out the news doc that we have for you today. Hongfu95 to sub with Twitch Prime, thank you very much, appreciate that. Boy, do we have, pretty lengthy news doc today, which is a good change from last week when we had like 4 topics and like 2 of them were kind of irrelevant based on timing. So lots has happened in the last week, thankfully. I'd like to do a mail call, just a little one, because I did get something. About a week ago, I asked KBD fans if they would send me a review unit for their KBD6X RGB, which just launched, and in true Wei fashion, he immediately said yes, and here we go. I just got this in today. This is the KBD fans 6X RGB PCB, hot swap, SMD RGB lighting, HHKB / Win keyless layout. Pretty good stuff. So excited to check this out. I don't know what I'm going to be putting it in yet, but I will find something. So I have that. There might be Mass Drop Holy Panda samples in my mailbox. I need to check after the show. Hopefully there are, but we'll see. I don't have tracking on them, so we'll see what happens. Blue Note just subbed with Twitch Prime 4 months in a row. Thank you very much for that. Where's the news, Doc? I'm about to start the news, but you guys are vicious today. But yeah, this PCB is pretty cool. Hot swap, SMD RGB, $50. Right, hard to argue with a $50 price point for those two features. Check your mailbox right now. It would take me... So like the apartment complex that I live in, my mailbox is like a 5-minute walk one way. And if the package is too big to fit in the mailbox, I have to actually go to the front office, which is like another 3 minutes. So I live in like a huge apartment complex, and it takes a while to walk anywhere. So I'm not gonna waste 15 to 20 minutes checking to see if I have a package. Sorry, guys. So you say you'll wait, and then like half the viewers will be gone by the time I get back. That's just the way it works. You guys are in the minority. Regardless, hopefully those are in my mailbox now or soon, and I can give you guys an update on that, because Yanbo of Mass Drop did tell me that I would be getting the review samples before the Holy Panda drop closed. And, I mean, I don't think he lied to me, so hopefully that is still in the works, and I can actually get that review / news out to you guys. That's the goal. Anyways, I'm going to move into the news now. We will end with a Q&A like we always do, so if you guys have any questions about anything about what we talk about, etc., for later, save it for later, and we will be all about that. So let's go over the news. How about that, guys? Is Huey getting some for his Force machine? I'm gonna send Huey some probably. So we'll work about that. Whoa, what is this? Nebulet donates 100 bits. #charity. Is there like a charity thing going on right now for Twitch? Huh. I've never seen that particular message in the chat. Very cool. Nice. Oh, and before I forget, I remember on the last episode I did say I'd be opening up a Google form for some Christmas giveaways on this show. Those are still happening, but I'm not going to be opening them up on this show. I'm going to be opening them up on the Christmas special, because I'm not 100% sure yet of all of the giveaway items I'm going to have. So, next episode, Christmas special, December 20th, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Be there. And B Square, and I will have the link for the Google form at that point. Then you guys can enter. You don't have to watch the show live to win. It'll be open to everyone as long as you're in the Top Clack Discord. That's the only requirement, basically. And so we'll open it up on that episode. It'll be really good times, and there's some really cool things to be given away, including a Zeno group buy spot of your choice with your switches of choice. From ZealPC. So, very cool stuff there. Anyways, let us move on to the news. 159 gifted a tier 1 sub to LBI Bass. I think that's the right way to say that. Appreciate that, my friend. And Reese the Geese just subbed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that, guys. Alright, so let's start off with some news, guys, because we have a fair amount of it to get through today. And speaking of LBI Bass, I think... Hold on. Let me make sure the pronunciation is correct, because I've always said this wrong in my head. I think he actually says it somewhere. Did I miss a sub-gift? Sorry, Jay. LBI Bass. LBI Bass. Alright, sorry. It's your fault for having a confusing name. And Geo donates 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 bits for charity. Very nice. Love those charity bits. As well as Mountain Blocks with 222. Thanks, guys. All right, LBI Bass bringing you an interest check for the BnB87 TKL. I'd like to know what B&B stands for. Is that like bed and breakfast? Because that's what I'm hoping it is. So nice, lots of renders going on here. This is a gasket mount TKL manufactured by ALF and designed by LBI Bass. And here are some epic pictures. So it will have a 6.6 degree angle, and these renders were done by Teslatron. This is a nice little, what I'm assuming is a polycarbonate version. And that is pretty darn nice. This back actually, the way this back is kind of angled here on the side, it kind of reminds me of the Aquaria. So pretty nice, thick, dope-looking TKL in interest check format. So if these pictures are striking your fancy, make sure to show interest in this thread, or the Geek Hack thread, presumably, and you can, you know, hopefully this will actually become a thing. Very nice. Unsure of whether you use mini USB or Type-C? Type-C, my dude. Come on. Future, 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 future. Future. Alright, very cool. So, lots of pictures. Don't really have a ton more information yet, but it is an interest check, so hopefully we can get some more. This is... Who does this on a TKL? Who does split backspace and split right shift on a TKL? That's rare, man. I swear nobody does that. ZealPC, thank you for the 100 charity bits, my friend. Alright, very cool. So we'll have to look forward to this. Hopefully this will happen. We can check it out once again once the group buy thread launches, and we can have more information on it. So we'll have to wait on that. The poly plus brass looks really, really interesting, though. Very cool. All right, moving on, we have another TKL. This one goes by the name of Taichi by user Mickey Berry, aka Okonomiyaki. I've seen the user go by. And this user is bringing a very interesting TKL to life called the Taichi. We covered this with interest check quite a while ago, but now it's actually moving into the group buy phase. This is probably one of the more interestingly designed keyboards I've seen in a while. So, yeah, there's actually some real prototypes here, which is cool. Love seeing that. Check out this side angle, guys. How do you guys feel about this? I'm really torn on it. I think I actually really dislike the way this is designed personally. Just, you know, me. I don't really care for the way this is done on the sides. A little too much roundness for my personal liking. But again, that's just me. As far as the bottom goes, I absolutely love this bottom though. The whole like yin and yang kind of effect here, A+. Really, really love that. As well as the little yin yang badge there as well. I think that's pretty darn neat. And it looks really, really cool in this kind of black and light silver effect. All right, love that. All right, so lots and lots and lots of information here. This is kind of a weird breakdown, though. I was trying to wrap my head around this. So you basically choose what kit you want instead of just choosing individual options. So kit 1 will be an aluminum case, a brass Taichi sandblasted logo, aluminum universal switch plate, aluminum bottom plate, weight, alternative colors. So this basically means what I'm assuming is you know, these bottom pieces will be aluminum, so they won't necessarily be a weight per se. They'll be more like an accent, since you know, you're not adding any weight that you wouldn't have already had there to begin with if you hadn't removed the aluminum to begin with for a weight. But that'll come with a brass O weight. So maybe these will be brass, or one of them will be brass, and the rest of this part would be aluminum as part of the kit 1. This is honestly kind of confusing to me. Maybe I'm just being stupid and you guys totally understand this, and I don't. But also PCB keyboard bag comes with all the kits. Very nice. Kit 2 will change your Taichi logo out for a titanium one. And you'll have a brass bottom plate weight, which I'm assuming that's what this is. Not the circles, though. I think that's obviously different. So those will be polished stainless steel. Very interesting. Don't usually see steel weights these days since brass has been all the rage the last 2 years or so. And then there is a white and black Taichi version, which is kind of cool. So, really interesting kind of breakdown of stuff, but there is a lot of information here, and there are, you know, some color samples, and there's actually a prototype, so pretty interesting stuff, guys. Drupa is still open, as far as I'm aware. I think there are a limited number of spots, though. I'm sorry, I forgot that information off the top of my head. It's got to be somewhere in here, though. Oh, here we go. So, minimum MOQ of 40, which I'm pretty positive they've already passed, and a maximum of 80. So, if you guys want this, make sure you get in soon, because those 80 spots might fill up. Bootmapper PCB, and it'll have a mini USB, so living... I'm going to call it the 2016 life. 2016, 2017 life. We're moving forward, guys. We need to get on the USB-C train, and we need to, you know, get on the QMK train, I feel like. Not that I dislike Bootmapper Client, because I actually used to advocate for that a lot because of just how easy it was. So I do like it, but, you know, with the advancements made to things like the QMK configurator and other things hitting the market like VIA, which I really, really, really love, there might just be better options on the market now. But that's just me. Anyways, make sure to join in this if this is your thing and you like that yin and yang effect. I actually used to study a little bit of Tai Chi, so that's why this is kind of extra cool for me. Alright, moving on, we have the PrimeE, or as we like to call it, the PrimeE, which is an Ergo 45%. Oh crap, I'm not posting links, am I? I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me retro these two links for you guys. My apologies. Oh, Jay's got it? Thanks, Jay. You're the real MVP. I've been doing like really good the last couple episodes too. All of a sudden now it's gonna slip my mind. Anyways, interest check up for the PrimeE and Ergo 45%. So pretty interesting stuff here. This is very inspired by the TGR Alice, if nothing else. So pretty easy to see the inspiration there. Very interesting kind of layouts. This is a different board, but he's kind of just showing this because it'll look similar to this, just without the numpad. Interesting stuff. 4.75mm integrated switch plate. Thick switch plates, kind of, you know, slowly but surely becoming more of a thing. Inner alphas rotated inward at 8 degrees. 7-degree incline, all aluminum 2-part housing with hot swap Kale sockets. So pretty interesting stuff here. Big chunk, yeah. It's kind of a beefy board actually. Like even if you took off the numpad, I feel like this is still like a really tall, really thick, intense board. I don't know, kind of interesting. I feel like at that point you might as well just make it a 60%, right? Like, why even keep it a 40% if it's going to be just that big anyways? But that's kind of a discussion for another topic. So if you want to check out the PrimeE, interest check here, obviously. Make sure you show some interest. Looks like a lot of people already have. And yeah. How do you guys feel about these kind of ergo layouts that have the inward curving alphas? Is this something you guys want to see more of? I know the TGR Alice was pretty darn popular, so you know maybe people are actually really interested in this kind of thing, and maybe we'll see more of it. isn't for you. Fix Ergo is trash. I love them. Alice is money. pretty expected range of answers there, I guess. I like them. I really want a 60% one. Yeah, I don't blame you. I kind of want a 60% one as well. I kind of like where this is going, but for how big it is, even without this numpad portion, I would much prefer a 60% version as opposed to a 40% or 45% as he's claiming here. Anyways, we'll have to see where that goes. BrickCube, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. 7 months in a row. I love watching you, man. You're too kind, bro. You're too kind. I appreciate that. Give me a slurp? Nah, man. That's Nathan's thing. We're a little bit different here. All right, moving on. We have the QCP, which is a Mini 1800. This is an interest check by Quantric, aka Quantastrophus. Yeah, seems right. So basically, this is an 1800 style board with like that entire F-row chopped right off. So kind of an interesting layout. If I'm being honest, I think it looks a little goofy. I've never been a fan of having that wide of a keyboard while also not having it be tall enough as it normally would be. It kind of reminds me of the Vortex Vibe, or like something similar, like just the way that's laid out. And it honestly, I think it looks really, really goofy. That just the layout. The actual board itself looks pretty nice. I definitely like the design. Not a whole lot of info here. This is just about the shortest interest check I've ever seen in my life. This is all he says. And then we get 2 pictures. I don't know. Could be cool, though. I kind of like the way this weight looks. I'd like some more renders, if anything else. Or is this actually... This might even be a real prototype. There's a lot of inconsistencies on this kind of stuff. This might actually be real. Anyways, definitely show interest in that if that is something you're into. But yeah, I definitely like some more pictures and or renders. That is a real board. Yeah, like this one definitely looks like a real board. There's a lot of inconsistencies in not only the lighting, but like the caps. Before I actually expanded on it and just quickly glanced at it, I thought it was a render at first. But yeah, that makes sense now. Give us more pictures. If it's a real prototype, add more pics, man. Gotta have more pics. Gotta have more pics, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, moving on, we have a very interesting TKL called the Equalz One. This is by C3. It'll be manufactured by Eve. And unlike the last thread, this one has a bazillion pictures. So this is a relatively interesting TKL that has some slightly different features. So let's go over it. Let's start with the PCB. So the PCB has SMD RGB LEDs, so that's something we're starting to see more on lately, which is pretty cool because, you know, it's becoming more of a thing without really becoming like super expensive. So it's a lot more accessible than it used to be, and I really like that. Jay, you gotta post the link. Oh, you did. It's just not hyperlinked. That's strange. Anyways, so we got, let me try to find the picture. Ah, here we go. So, aside from the SMD RGB, we have another pretty interesting feature set. So, this board can actually be tray-mounted on these standoffs that you see here, or it could be top-mounted using a polycarbonate plate that is included. So, this is kind of another one of those boards that we've seen a couple of these in the past already, where you can either have it tray-mounted, or top-mounted, or both, depending on what kind of typing feel you're going with. And the thing about this one is these standoffs are all removable. So you can actually remove any number of them to kind of create your own unique typing feel and try to maybe play to where there might be more or less flex depending on what you like. So pretty interesting stuff there. I like that inclusion a lot. The fact that you can remove these, really, really, really interesting. I mean, admittedly, I'm more of a top mount kind of guy versus tray mount, but I do think having the extra option there is pretty neat. As long as it doesn't add too much to like the actual production cost per se, because otherwise you're paying for something that you probably won't even use, and I'm not a fan of that. But regardless, we have a little polycarbonate piece on the bottom here. Try to show this a little bit better. That kind of spans the entire bottom to give you a little bit of RGB underglow coming out from the bottom. So the PCB, like I said, has SMD RGB for each switch, as well as RGB underglow. So lots and lots and lots of RGB goodness, if that's your thing. The design, pretty darn nice. I like it. I kind of like just this like really small kind of rounded chamfered edge. I think that's a pretty darn epic, if I do say so myself. Side, really, really minimalistic. It's kind of just, it's kind of, I mean, I'm not going to call it a one-piece design, because obviously it's not, but it seems like it's a one-piece design, because it's, the bottom is a bit more of a flat part. A la something like the Tokyo 60 perhaps, where, you know, most of the frame is all the case, and then you just have like a flat piece on the bottom. Pretty interesting looking stuff. What do you guys think about this? Is like the difference in the plate options, is that kind of something you guys might be into, like the way it's mounted? The fact that you have options. Would any of you get this and actually use just the tray mount? Maybe you'd want to experiment on it and, you know, take out some of those removable posts and kind of see where that goes. Yeah, so let's go over some of the details, too. So, manufactured by Eve, of course, we saw it already. 6063 aluminum, okay, nothing out of the ordinary there. Anode colors, light blue, pink, and purple. They also have a white version, which is done via electrophoresis. And it will have a fully programmable PCB, big surprise, very nice. Pre-soldered with your RGB stuff and your underglow as well. Using Type-C, cool. Glad to see that continuing. Not sure what it's fully programmable with, hopefully QMK or something of that sort. It would have been nice to actually note that here. He has stable wood and alu blocker, which is this thing right here. You guys can't really see that very well. Hold on. Ah, there we go. So that's this thing right here. And you know, you have your two assembly modes: plate mount and tray mount, a polycarbonate plate, and a 6-degree angle. Price is $290 US plus shipping plus PayPal fees. Shipping price is about $40 to the US and Asia, which is actually not too bad. Then $50 to Canada and Europe. This forum is open now. These are actually like it's like a pre-sale basically. He has these on hand, so these are actually going to ship very, very soon. He says shipping starts on the 14th or 15th of December. So that's tomorrow or the next day is when shipping is going to start. So make sure you get in on this if this is something you want, because you can get it soon. And as of last he updated, these are what he has left in stock: 10 whites, 8 purple, or 8 blues, excuse me, and 2 purples. So there are a couple small defects, at least with the positioning pillar kind of mounts here. Basically, they Dremeled it to fix it, though. So apparently it works now, but it just looks kind of goofy. But, you know, for any reasonable keyboard owner, that's not going to be a problem as long as it performs well. So there is that. I think it's pretty interesting. Mountain Blocks gifting a tier 1 sub to Plexabyte. Thank you for that. Very nice. You like the diode placement? Yeah, that was kind of odd to me, too. I don't think I've ever really seen that before. It's usually not in between your switch pin holes. It's usually off to the side somewhere. It does look kind of neat, though. Anyways, very nice. Grab one of these if you want, because they're shipping. They're ready to ship. Moving on to another interestingly mounted keyboard, we have the group buy for the Unikorn 60, which is open now. This is a collaboration project between Singa as well as TGR. So pretty interesting stuff. I like when we have people collaborate on things like this because we can often get really interesting results. So this is let me try to find the right picture. Sorry guys. Here we go. Get one of these. So this is it's a tray mount board, kind of. And we have covered this before, but I'll go over it again anyways. So the way this works is it does mount to the tray as other tray mount keyboards might. But this one actually has a gasket in between the PCB and the switch plate. So this is pretty freaking unique. Honestly, we haven't really seen this before. So I'm really hoping this turns out pretty well. I'm definitely an advocate for gasketing pretty much all of the things always, because I think it can give a very nice typing feel and a much more crisp, precise sound. And, you know, me being the kind of sound person that I am, and I know a lot of people have been in the community lately as well, this is something that could be really, really cool. Gasket all the things, guys. So pretty hyped to actually see this. I wish we had a little bit more of like an exploded view so I could actually see how like everything mounts. One question I have is I'm not really sure where the mounting points are for this. I don't know if they're actually standard 60%, like they're actually like randomly kind of seemingly randomly placed, like normal 60%, or maybe it's just around the edge per se, which I think I actually want to see that. Even if it's a tray mount board, I'd like to see if it were mounted just along the edge so we get a little bit more flex in the middle. That'll be really, really cool. So hopefully, you know, maybe I can get another picture of that at some point. Try to see how that is. Anyways, big ass weight on the bottom. Love that. That's a beefy weight with a nice logo. I like that as well. All right, so let's check out some of the specs. So quality 60% tray mount case, PVD Unikorn engraved sandblasted brass weight. So yeah, because it's PVD, it shouldn't the fingerprint shouldn't stain. I'm pretty sure. So this prototype, I don't think this prototype one has PVD finish on it or anything, but the final production one will. So universal plate in brass or aluminum, ANSI or ISO. Plate will not allow for switch top removal. You know, that's kind of becoming less of a thing these days, and it's fine. It was cool while it lasted, but you know, it is what it is. Jay's gonna send me yours when it arrives. Cool, nice. Standard mount allows you to make your own plates. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not saying it'd be bad if it were standard mount, but I would like to see how a tray mount would work mounting like just around the edges, because I think you could probably get it to feel a little bit more like a sandwich mount at that point. Anyways, TGR 60 PCB, which will feature bootmapper client programmability. Nothing surprising there. 6-degree angle, alright, pretty normal. Rubber gasket mount for dampening. Rubber gasket rests between PCB and plate. So pretty interesting stuff there. Weight with caps is a little over 1.6 kilograms. That's like, I don't know, like it's like 4 pounds, like a little under 4 pounds, I think. Like around a little over 3.5 pounds freedom units. Colors will be black, deep red, purple, dark blue, pink, and gray. And the PCB will be purple with gold trace and, unfortunately, USB mini. Base kit includes the case, PCB, plate of your choice, rubber gasket, mounting hardware, and the brass weight. Shipping will be available as a separate purchase closer to ship date. Not surprising. So before shipping, this is $278, which is... I've seen a lot of people kind of go back and forth on whether this is like a good price or not, because it's a tray mount, which, yeah, it kind of is. There's a little bit more going on to it, though. Obviously, we have, the gasket implementation. It comes with a plate. You get that big-ass brass weight with the design on it. This is definitely an upgraded tray mount case. This isn't your granddad's tray mount case, guys. So I don't think the price is very unreasonable. I think it's about par for the course. But pretty cool stuff. I already know a lot of people jumping in on this. Alright guys, moving on to another tray mount case we have here. We have the Noxary T60. So we covered this in Interest Check a while back. This is a relatively simple tray mount case design, but the difference here was something that we were talking a little bit about with the Unikorn, is that this is going to have mounting points that are going to, in theory, give a little bit more flex to the PCB and or plate assembly that you have in here. So as you can see in these pictures, we're missing a normal mounting point in the middle, as well as one down here to the right of the space bar. So the idea here is that by just using these 4 outer mounting points, you can have a little bit more flexible of a typing experience, and it won't feel quite as harsh as a normal tray mount would, because most people complain about tray mounts because they're a little bit too harsh when you bottom out, because you're typing right into standoff. There's no room to flex because you're typing right into metal. And, that can be a little harsh for people, and because of where mounts are placed, it can also just feel kind of inconsistent as well. So hopefully this will kind of combat these things. So let's take a look at what we got here. We have one color. If I'm reading this right, we have one color, blue-gray, which I'm okay with because I like blue-gray, but kind of interesting. Anyways, you can... is this the right link? I feel like this is broken. When I checked this last time, I think there were multiple colors, and you were able to take the plate off. So maybe the page has been updated since like yesterday when I checked it out. But anyways, according to this page, at the very least, we have blue-gray is your only option, and it does come with a plate. So that's pretty cool. 165 bucks. Not too bad. It comes with a plate, which is cool. And even if it didn't include the plate, it would be on par or cheaper than something like the Clipe, which is another popular kind of higher end simple tray mount case. This is definitely more expensive than obviously something like the 5 Degree or the Tofu or like the Tina or like other tray mount cases like that. So yeah. Pretty interested to check this out. Anthony of Noxary Zondat did mention that he will be trying to send me one so I can actually check it out, which will be really cool because I'm really interested in trying to see how this whole flex situation works out. Anyways, they're in stock right now. This is kind of a test run, a new factory test run. There's 12 left out of 13. 8 degree angle, 16.5 millimeter front face, normal aluminum, tray mount 4 posts, okay. Then it comes with the plate as well, which is also blue-gray. Interesting, very cool. 1.5 millimeter, and there's a layout that it comes with. Oh, you're forced into stepped caps lock. Very interesting. Wait, you're forced into stepped caps lock and 2.75 right shift? Hold on. This plate is kind of silly, man. You can't use split right shift and you're forced in a stepped caps lock? I don't know about this plate, man. I think I'd prefer a slightly more universal plate. that's a little interesting. But, it comes with a plate regardless, if that's the kind of layout that you're going to use anyways. And of course, you can always use a different plate. This is just the one that it comes with. Alright, so looking forward to that. Hopefully we can check one of those out very soon, guys. Are you still on the links, Jay? Okay, you are. Okay. Just making sure. All right, moving on to some key sets. The official Star Wars Galactic Empire DSA key set has finally launched, and you have a couple options here. You have the full Arabesh, which is this language here. I don't know if I'm actually saying that right. And then there's Arabesh with English sub-legends. These little itty-bitty... Can I enlarge this? Come on. Really? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can't enlarge this. But you get the Arabesh with these very tiny top right English sub-legends there. Very, very tiny. Pretty interesting looking set. It's a little too busy for me. But obviously, you know, other Star Wars lovers might be totally into this. Price is $250 US, regardless of which version you go with. And here's the compatibility that you get. Not terribly incompatible by any means. I think you know, it'll fit a lot of boards. That price is a little steep, though, if I do say so myself. Which begs the question, like, where's the money going here? Like, is Disney making money off this? Like, I imagine they'd probably want to, even though it's probably, like, to them it's going to be, you know, basically no money at all. I'm kind of curious, though, because it is an official Signature Plastics DSA set. So, Signature Plastics, obviously the most expensive option in the DSA territory. So, not too ridiculous when you consider that, but it does seem maybe a little high. Yo Hentai, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate that. So, what do you guys think of this? Is this price too high? Is this on point? Is this normal? It's been a while since I've seen, like, an all-encompassing DSA set, so I'm not really sure, like, what kind of prices these days those are supposed to have. Make me a Mace Windu set and I'd pay. Yeah. Can guarantee the contract states Mike can't say a price breakdown. Oh yeah, I'm not asking or expecting him or anyone else to have a price breakdown. More like I'm more curious about where it is. Anyways, this is going to be a PBT die subset. There are your color codes. DSA profile, 157 keys. Pre-orders will run from December 10th, which was 3 days ago, to January 5th. So you got about roughly 3 weeks left to enter this if this is something you're into. Estimated shipping will be May 2019. Very, very interesting. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention, yeah. And please note that this set will only be available for the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Guam. So, pretty limited there. It's also worth noting that this is available on Kono.store, which is kind of strange to me. I'm not entirely sure why they have 2 US vendors for this set. But maybe someone else has more info on that than I do. on a scale of The Last Jedi to A New Hope, this is Solo. That's funny. Anyways, yeah, if this is something you're interested in, make sure you jump on that now or before January 5th. Next coming in, we have an interest check for a key set called GMK Noble, which is kind of a monochrome gray thing going on to it. Very much gray, much monochrome. It will have row 5 support, and this thread is kind of interesting. So let me try to find the lines that I found interesting about this when I was reading through it. Here we go. So you might notice that there aren't any renders. There is this picture, and then there is this picture to show you some color codes. Renders. I don't want renders because renders look always fantastic. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. I don't want renders because renders look always fantastic. Photos of some real stuff. Holy cow. I wanted to point out some photos of GMK Slate, but that seems to have never made it. Blah, blah, blah. That's kind of pointless. But anyways, as expected, some people were calling him out on not having renders. And he actually had a very interesting answer. Let me try to find it. Sorry, guys. Here we go. It says, instead of renders, after feedback, I plan to do a photo mock-up soon. I have GMK Pristine, which is L9 color, one of the things he's using, and I plan to colorize it, something in post with processing with Lightroom, which is a lighting app, basically. Still not real, but we'll see how it looks. So this guy, instead of doing renders, he doesn't want renders. He wants to effectively try to recreate what the set will look like his own way. And I want to support this guy because I think the set could be cool. I like really simple GMK sets. But I think not having renders is a fail, man. These are stock GMK color codes. Like, they're stock GMK color codes. Like, we're gonna know, like, the renders will be, yes, maybe not 100% accurate, but they should be very, very, very accurate. You know, these aren't new custom colors. We've seen these colors before. It should not be a problem. So the fact that he's still choosing to completely forego normal renders, I think it's kind of a bummer, and like someone else pointed out in here, I don't think he's going to sell a whole lot without actually posting some legit renders. So, what do you guys feel about this? No, I love being disappointed by renders. This seems like not a good idea. That's the point of renders. Yeah. Sounds Jessica-ish. Whoa. This is a terrible idea. It needs renders. Yeah. I agree. I think you gotta have renders. It doesn't really matter that everyone else does renders. It's everyone else kind of does it for a reason. Like, we have some semblance of what this set could look like in person on my freaking keyboard, and I can't get that without the renders. Like, you gotta give us the renders. So, you know, make sure if you're you want to see more of the set, and maybe you want this guy to change his mind, that you check out this interest check and comment on it, and maybe try to, you know, politely convince this guy or gal to you know, to maybe include some actually professionally done renders. That would be my advice. Next, we have a group buy for an SA set called blah_Ks, which I'm assuming is supposed to be blanks because the set is for blanks. So, here we go. Let me show you some pictures. These are blank SA caps. Lots of different kits depending on, you know, what kind of stuff you want to do. Very, very interesting. So this will be sculpted in 112343, which is I think that's the standard. That's like the standard SA kind of sculpted profile. According to him, the most comfortable profile, scientifically demonstrated. I will go ahead and disagree with that, at least personally, but that's not the whole point. Colors, black and white. Very simple. Black and white blanks. I mean, I guess this is kind of something that the community needed, right? We don't really have blank SA sets. And hopefully, you know, by foregoing legends and you know, doing different kits and stuff, you can hopefully keep the prices down a little bit low. I'm not really sure what kind of MOQ he's going to have to get, though, so I think that's a little scary. Okay, he actually has the MOQs broken down right here. So he's only sold, wow, as of this update, he's only sold 4 of 50 of the white alphas and 7 of the 50 required black alphas. And the other kits aren't really looking any better in terms of meeting MOQ. Obviously, still, I think it's still pretty early. This opened up, what, 8 days ago? Actually, that's kind of bad for 8 days, I'm not going to lie. It seems like people just aren't really into this. And again, no professional renders. Darn it. Come on, guys, come on. Anyways, orders will close on January 6th, and then he will submit to SP for manufacturing. 8 to 12 week lead time, which seems kind of ambitious. Then I'll have shipping to him, sorting, stuff like that, and he's planning to ship around April 8th, which seems a little bit closer to right. No proxies lined up at the moment. And then, once again, here are all the breakdowns for those MOQs, and they are not looking very promising, guys. Anyways, if you want to support this or jump in on it, there's a link right there in the post. Let's move on to something I'm a little bit excited about, actually. On the surface, this looks really kind of mundane and not that interesting, but I find it more interesting than maybe other people. So anyways, here's a little update for Novelkeys. He is now offering Gateron switches, the ones that have milky tops and black bottoms, and their PCB mount, thumbs up, for 24 cents per switch. And that's really cool. This next part is what makes me even happier. So he's also now offering Gateron switches, black housing. So full black housing PCB mount black housing Gateron switches, which I've actually been asking for this for like months now, and finally he has kind of delivered. I love like all black housings. I think just look good, kind of like Cherry MX housings, retooled blacks, etc. That kind of thing. I think the all black housings often look and sound better, and a lot of people kind of agree. So I've been looking forward to all black housing Gaterons for so long because I know they exist. I actually have like a small handful of Gateron browns with all black housings, and I've been really pushing for these to come to market from someone, preferably Mike though, of Novelkeys, of course. And pretty cool. So these are all going to be silents, which is I don't really care about silent Gateron switches, but I do care about these housings. So the ability to actually get these, very cool in my opinion. Silent clears and silent yellows for 38 cents a switch. This is the first time we've seen silent clears and silent yellows, so that's pretty cool. Gateron yellows obviously have been heralded for years in the community as one of the best value linear switches you can buy. To this day, it still uses what I'd argue is one of, if not the most unique spring in any stock switch, though is readily available, of course. A lot of people love it for that, and now you can get that in a silent variety with all black housing. So pretty cool stuff there. Again, I don't really personally care for silent housings, but I think what I'm going to wind up doing is buying some of the silent yellows, and then buying some of the milky top Gaterons, probably reds for a particular aesthetic I'm going to do for a build, and I'm just going to swap the tops on them. It'll be like no one ever knew, but it'll be freaking awesome. Yeah, so pretty excited about that. 38 cents a switch for the all black housing silent switches. So I think the yellows will be pretty cool, right? I think those will probably go over fairly well. Can't wait to get some more of these. Moving on, we have a group buy for titanium plates. And at first I thought this was just like 60% plates, but basically the way this works is it's actually a cutting service, basically kind of like Laser Boost, who has been gaining more popularity in the community for custom cutting. Here we have DGX Team, a mechanical keyboard maker from Vietnam. And they've had this interest check up for a little while, and they can and are very willing to cut titanium, which is pretty interesting. So they have an order form here. So basically, if you're not familiar with the way that this kind of service works, you basically get the file, like the plate file, for instance, if you want a plate cut, from the designer or what have you, and then you send the plate files to, in this case, DGX, and they will cut in titanium your design. So then you can use that titanium plate or whatever as you wish. So pretty cool stuff there. Talisman Solutions gifts one tier 1 sub to Sini Jono. So thank you very much for that. And I believe you donated quite 1,000 bits earlier. I think I might have missed that. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate that, Talisman. So yeah, so kind of like a competitor to Laser Boost coming up here, but using some titanium. So you can you can join this and get your files to them, and they can cut you a plate or whatever. Start date was December 12th, which was yesterday. End date will be the 28th. So you got about 2 weeks left to jump in on that. Invoice date will come the following couple days, and estimated shipping will be January 1st to the 19th. So pretty darn quick turnaround, which is not terribly terribly unrealistic considering Laser Boost does something fairly similar. It's pretty easy turnaround, just cutting some plates. It's just what they do. All right, so they have a little update tracker for orders, how many people have paid, and their low MOQ of 20. So if you want something cut in titanium, here you go. I did go through. Well, here we go. So they actually have some more info here, of course, and they have a little bit of a price breakdown, and it's actually I definitely wouldn't call it cheap. Even just a standard 60% plate, 1.5 millimeter, is going to run you at $65 US. And, of course, if you want something more custom, it's probably going to be more expensive. So just keep that in mind, but pretty interesting stuff there. If you want some titanium cut, bam, there you go. And I know we talked about this last episode, but technically this hadn't gone live at that point in time. It was just like the pre-sale page. So, Master Op Holy Pandas actually open now. I'm not going to talk too much about them because we talked so much about them last time. But they're open, $1 a switch until you buy 110 or more, and then they drop down a little bit. So, if you guys haven't heard and you've been living under a rock, then Holy Pandas now available. In the same vein, we have a little bit of an update to the Gsus switches, the new Panda alternative that's been ran by user Supervan on Keycap. He has officially lowered the price from a uniform $1 to a uniform 60 cents per switch. So that's a 40% decrease in price all at once, and he does have these on hand. So if you don't want to wait until May for the Master Op Holy Pandas, May or later, then you can maybe buy some of these if you just want some pandas. Maybe you got some halos laying around, you don't want to wait 5 months or so. You can buy these alternative for 60 cents a piece, and the deadline pretty darn soon, and he's going to start shipping in like literally a week. So he has these on hand. So that's pretty easy. So that's an alternative too if you don't want to wait for the Master Op Holy Pandas. All right, that was the end of our news doc. So let me tell you guys a little bit about our sponsors if you weren't already aware. Top Clack has 4 amazing sponsors, and we will start with Novelkeys, who, of course, is running the Galactic Empire DSA set that we talked a little bit about earlier. If you're a major Star Wars fan and this is kind of striking your fancy, there you go. He also has, wait, are Cream's not a thing anymore? Ah, the pre-order ended for Creams. Darn it, I was going to pimp those more. So the pre-order for the Creams ended, sadly, but you can still pick up other things, of course. He's got the new Gateron sound switches that we were talking about, as well as the ones with milky tops. He's got desk mats for days, as well as DSA Katakana Group Buy open right now. So make sure you pick up some of those. I'm gonna pick up some of these Gateron switches here pretty soon. And while you're there, use promo code TOPCLACK. That'll get you 5% off your entire order. TOPCLACK, 2 words. You'd be surprised how many people ask me why the promo code doesn't work. And I ask, have you put a space in between top and clack? They're like, ah, okay. Next we have Z Frontier, our beast in the East, who is doing the Typewriter 68 keyboard, still in group buy right now. as well as just about every keyboard under the sun, whether they're a proxy or selling it directly. They have tons and tons and tons of stuff in stock, as well as the JTK triple shots going on right now and JTK Hyperfuse. So pretty cool stuff going on there as usual. Next we have Kono.store, aka Input Club, who has a plethora of things going on as well. The Kira prototypes, or not prototypes, sorry, the Kira production models are pretty much done. So you're going to actually be able to buy them and like actually have them ship like pretty darn soon. Like if they're not actually in stock yet, it's like very, very soon. Of course, they are also doing DSA Galactic Empire, which I don't really understand why. I don't really understand why you need 2 US vendors. Anyways, they also have the Gemini Dawn and Dusk pre-order open right now, which is that $140 K-type killer with a couple different switch type choices, and you can get them in different colors because Dusk and Dawn. They actually have a couple interesting updates. If you're not part of their mailing list, you might have missed this, but the Skog Lite was actually relaunched for $100 cheaper. So if you guys don't remember, this was $350 until just the other day, maybe today, and now it relaunched for $250, which is a much, much, much more attractive price point for this keyboard, in my opinion. I'm really glad they decided to go that route. Pretty darn happy about that. So make sure if you did want the Skog Lite to jump on it now, because now you can get it for cheaper, and all the people that have joined already will actually just get a $100 refund. So everybody wins here pretty much, and the price definitely a lot more attractive there. GMK Shoko Key Set group buy, I'm pretty sure that's still open right now. Yes, make sure to jump in on this. Last I heard, the MOQ is still a little ways away, so it's not really doing as well as it otherwise could potentially. But $138 gets you, a really rich base set, and I do like it a lot. So, maybe jump in on that if that's something you're into. And also, if you use promo code HOHOHAKO, HOHOHAKO, you get 50% off their Hako switches. So keep that in mind. Promo code HOHOHAKO. Yes, that's a real thing. God, Input Club is so silly. Last but not least, we have Zeal Generation, which you can find at zealpc.net. And, Zeal has been doing a lot lately. If you guys have been living under a rock, you might not know he has a ton of new switches out. He's got his entire V2 lineup. Everything's new. New Telios, new Zelios, new Xylence, and he launched the Helios, which are a silent linear. All of which using lots of new parts, and man, are all these switches so freaking good now. I thought they were, okay to pretty good before. Now I freaking love all of them. So really happy to see all the updates to the switches. They're doing quite well. Of course, right now they still have the Zeno group buy open until February, which is a pretty awesome 75% keyboard here designed by Poner. You can get it both in the full plate and the half plate version, which is pretty nice if you ask me. Makes me get a little hot and bothered. So anyways, yep, you can still pick that up now, as well as all the new fun switches if you haven't already. How have you, people that have actually been ordering these switches and got them in stock, how have you guys liked the V2 lineup so far? I actually want to hear your thoughts, because I really like them. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people talking about them lately. I kind of want to see how you guys feel about the new V2 Zeal switches, if you guys have tried them. Let me know. And if you haven't already and you want to order some and you want to support Top Clack, you can order through zealpc.net/TopClack. That's the affiliate link for us. And, that'll give us a little bit of a kickback. Of course, it won't cost you any more or anything, but it just gives us a little bit of a kickback. So you can help support Top Clack when you buy your Zeal products. All right. V2's really good. V2 Xylence are better than V1 IMO. I completely agree. Got 78 gram V2s. Love the feel. Spring noise was a bit much, but they're great after lubing. Fair enough. Very nice. You ordered all 3 from Mass Drop and still haven't received them? Oh, yeah. Do you even save money by ordering Zeals from Mass Drop? Obviously, you have to wait longer, I think, generally. Didn't think I'd like the high bump, but love the 78 gram V2s. I got my V2 Telios. They are amazing. They're really nice, but they definitely benefit from some lube, particularly on the stem legs IMO. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of you guys seem to enjoy yours as well. So that's good to hear. I like when I really like something. Like I always get really worried when like a sponsor comes out with something that I really like. That I'm like, oh god, here we go. Like I can't really tell people how much I like it because they're just gonna call me a shill and blah blah blah. But I'm like, I really like these switches. So I'm always glad when people receive them and they also like them a lot. So I don't seem like quite as much of a hustler. Alright guys, we can move into a Q&A now as well. So if you guys have questions, I've got your answers, hopefully. Make sure to use the @TopClack tag so I can see the question a little bit easier. That helps me out a lot. So just hit me with those questions, whether you guys want to talk about Zeal switches or, you know, mounting solutions or, you know, other keyboard stuff or not. Just let me know. Questions, let them flow in. Excuse me, guys. Alright, Plexibite asking, what's your favorite weights? For like the Zelios and stuff? I really like... the prototypes that I got the 62 gram Zelios, the 78 gram Xylence, and the Helios, which are only 67 gram. They don't come in any other weights. I really, really like them all. I was most surprised at the 78 gram Xylence. Like, to me, they were, like, freaking amazing. Because normally when I use silent switches, the bottom out is just kind of mushy, which is why I never really cared about, like, MX Xylence or, you know, MX Silence or, like, Gateron silent switches. I didn't really care for them. Like, every time I tried them, it felt like I was typing into, like, mashed potatoes. And, I mean, I'm a guy that likes a lot of mashed potatoes, as you can probably see from my physique, but I don't necessarily like typing on them. So the fact that they were able to be so firm while still being silent and still having that really nice, smooth, round tactility blew me away. I thought the weighting on the 78 gram was absolutely perfect, spot on. Loved that. Even without lubing them, I thought they were a fantastic switch. Talisman gets another tier 1 sub to Amire 5125. Thank you very much for that. I felt that the V1 silence were super scratchy. That seems to be gone for V2. Yeah, I feel like the V1 silence definitely had some issues, but the V2 just feel so stable and so consistent and so, like, they're still, like, very smooth too. I'm about to buy more, actually. I want to try the 67 gram silence. Yep, Q&A time, guys. Top Clack shirts. Yep, you can get Top Clack shirts at kono.store. Jay posted the link just a moment ago. D. Benny asking, on that winkeyless tofu you built a while back, did it use screw-in stabs? It does not come with screw-in stabs. I'm pretty sure they were clip-in. I swapped mine for some GMK screw-in stabilizers that I got from Novelkeys. So that's what I have in there now. I don't recall the normal ones being clip-in that come with it. They're kind of like, they're not genuine. I think they were a Chinese knockoff. They do come lubed though. Not very consistently. It's more like they just kind of like put a bunch of lube on like one part of it, and like it looks lubed, but like it's not entirely. Plexibite asking, what's your favorite Zelio V2 weight? The only ones I have enough for a board are the 62 gram, which I like, but I do think that the Switch feels a little bit better like the heavier you go. Like something about that style of tactility with that the 78 gram spring, it's so good, man. It's so good. So I think 78 gram is probably going to be my favorite between the Zelios and the Xylants. But I want to get some of the 67 and 65 gram as well and kind of see how I like those. Bug Whisperer asking, is there any way to get replacement Topra springs? That's a great question, and I have no idea. I really don't, aside from maybe trying to find like a secondhand Topra board that has like a bunch of issues but still has working springs that you can like buy off someone. I don't know where I'd get them. Maybe email Topra and see if they can send you some. That's probably where I would start. Oh wait, I've been reading that wrong. Sinjiono asking, have you tried Holy Chickies, and are they compared, and how are they compared to Zelio V2? I really want to try the Zelios. I have not tried Holy Chickies yet, so I can't compare, I'm sorry. Free Birth Overwatch asking, I have 2 boards that need some repair work. I'm in the US. Where should I look around? RMK, Keeb Talk, to find someone. The boards are a Nerd TKL and a K-type. You can pretty much ask around anywhere. There's lots of people that do builds and repair services. You can ask in the Top Clack Discord, which is linked below the stream. We have people always looking to provide services there. If you don't want to go there, you can definitely post on Mech Market. I would post on Mech Market, not RMK, and just try to find someone to do some work for you. Definitely, there's lots of people willing to help, like always. Talisman Solutions gifted another sub to Whole Tank. Very nice, thank you. JT Jet asking, why does the new Hyperfuse Origins run not have teal accents? I had no idea it didn't have teal accents. That's kind of silly. Didn't the first Hyperfuse Origins run have them? I'm not gonna say that name because there's so many numbers. Thoughts on Orion V3? I'm actually going to be talking about it next stream since the group buy opens tomorrow. I'll have it on the news doc for next week for sure. So I'll have my thoughts about it there. But I liked the Orion V2. I think it's Duck's best board personally. Scope one saying, so I bought the Halos from Mass Drop as I thought it would be a 24-hour thing. But since they are refreshing every day, should I buy the Gsus now? If you want Holy Pandas, or what are essentially Holy Pandas, yes, buy Gsus now. Otherwise, your option is to buy into the Mass Drop Holy Pandas and wait 5 months. And nobody has review samples yet, so we don't really know what they're like yet. Presumably they're still Holy Pandas, and that's what they feel like. I'm still waiting on my review samples, so once I get mine, I will definitely let you all know how they feel, and if they feel as Holy Pandas or Holy Gsus do. Because now I have a board of Holy Pandas, the original ones, and I have a board of Holy Gsus, so I'll get the third one in there and I'll test it out for you guys. But until I get those, it's hard for me to say because I don't know how they feel. Blue Note asking, can you use electrical tape instead of band-aids for stab modding? Yeah, absolutely. The idea is still the same, right? with Band-Aids or with electrical tape, you're putting some kind of material that isn't as hard as the PCB between your stabilizers and your PCB. So like anything that can just dampen it there is kind of the general idea. So yeah, you can absolutely use electrical tape. Bug Whisperer asks, silver or black NO? Depends on the board, and it depends on the key set I'm planning on using. Favorite board of 2018? Oh boy. Can I have multiple answers? Oh man, there's so many good boards that came out in 2018. M60A, loved it. Absolutely love it. That's what I'm using right now, by the way. Amazing packaging and unboxing experience. Fantastic board. Lots of really cool features. Definitely love it. The QXP, I thought was an amazing board too, mainly for its price. It's a great board, but like it's even better because it was like $250. Which is, as far as like nice, like customs that aren't tray mount, that offer like brass plates and have engraving and stuff, like it's a really good board for the price. So the QXP definitely kind of blew me away there. M60 I like a lot, but obviously that's a little bit more expensive. HB85, none of you guys saw that shit coming. That board is really unique, and I can't wait to use mine more. Of course, that hasn't shipped yet for people. Mine's a prototype, but I freaking love... That board has some character, man. That board has character. D. Benny saying, in last edition for me, I'm using the Hako Royal Clears at the moment. How do the 78 gram Xylence, I think, feel in comparison weight-wise? Relatively similar. Hako Royal Clears... use like a 75 to 78 gram bottom out spring, so you'll feel very similar in weight to the 78 gram Xylence. It's Undone asking, what's my SR in Overwatch? I don't really play, I haven't played competitive in a while. I'm usually a platinum player, so I think I'm like low platinum right now. I've made it to diamond before, but it's been a while. Thoughtbot forgets to tag me, but he does ask a great question. In what build situations would a half-plate design be preferable? I think it's less build situations and more situations of like actual use. So like what you want your typing experience to feel like. So a lot of older cherry boards are strictly PCB mount. They have a very particular feel. Some people like it, some people dislike it. But the idea is that, with a half plate, you can get a little bit more of that PCB mount feel when you're typing on your alphas. And in a lot of scenarios, you'll also get a little bit more flex there because, the plate won't be, across the entire board. It'll just be on your modifiers. So you get a little bit more flexy of a typing experience, a little bit more of that... that bottom out feel that you get when you're only using a PCB. So it's a take it or leave it for a lot of people. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are indifferent. Just like everything else in the community, really. Ramdell subs with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for that. And Anorok is asking, which do you prefer, your Holy Pandas or Holy Jesus? In terms of like typing feel, like I said on that stream, they feel basically identical to me. I can't really notice a difference, so to me they're the same. HB85 is the bent steel one, right? No. Hold on, let me find the link. HB85 is a weird board, man. It's a really weird board. Alright, there you go. There's the link to the HB85. Group I ended already, but that board is freaking interesting, man. Gateron asking, how is the Gsus as a stock linear? Interestingly enough, to me, it feels smoother than a stock Panda did. So I'm not going to say it was a really smooth switch, because it's not a really smooth switch, but it's definitely smoother than the OG Panda one was. I actually plan on breaking some in, just like I would with like retooled MX Blacks, for example, and lubing those, because I think there's a little bit of potential for them to actually feel and sound pretty darn good, with enough preparation. The High Five says, got into the stream late, but was the IC for the PrimeE Ergo 45 talked about? Yeah, that was one of the opening topics. Yep. Of course, I'll have the VODs up on both Twitch and YouTube after the stream, so you can check out anything that you might have missed or that you want to watch again. All right, guys. Any last-minute questions before I head out? I am caught up on questions in the chat, so if you guys have any more questions, make sure you get them in right now. Otherwise, I'm going to run away. Lunar Sama asking, did you try the Arctos switches? I have not tried the Arctos switches yet. I think there are some being sent to me very soon, so hopefully I'll get to try that out as well. GA333E asking, what you hope the new boards will focus on in 2019? Design, sound, colors, etc. I think it's, I mean, everything, right? Like, as we progress in the community, you know, we want everything to be better. We always want things to be better. We want things to, you know, move forward and have better options. So it's kind of hard. Like, if you're asking me, like, what trends I think we'll see in 2019 more, I think gasket mount, definitely. We'll probably see a slow but continuing thick plate kind of thing going on. Hopefully just more kind of hybrid stuff, just kind of like how we talked about the Unikorn 60 group buy today. It's like a tray mount board, but there are gasket elements to it as well, which is really, really interesting. So I want to see more hybridization going on, and just stuff like that. Like, I think there's a lot of unexplored stuff that we can do in the community, and I think people are really kind of pushing the boundaries, and I love seeing it. I honestly do. But I think moving forward in 2019, I want to see more of everything, because the community's progressed so much in the last few years. Like, if we continue to see that same kind of growth, like, year after year, like, we're going to have some crazy stuff for the next year or two. Talisman again gifting a tier 1 sub to GA333E. Thank you very much. Silent Saints donates 300 bits. Wow, thank you very much, man. We appreciate that. Jay says, Arctos in the post this week with an Xmas gift. You're sending me a gift, too? That face when you're the best top Clack host and you haven't even started yet. Oh, wait, I think I skipped a question. Sorry. Scope 1 asks, Gherkin versus Miyuni 32. I have never... Okay, I have tried one. I've tried the Gherkin. I can't use that layout. I don't know if my hands are just too big or I haven't adapted to it yet, but oh my freaking god, like, those layouts are so hard for me to use. 30% is not for me. I struggle enough on 40%. Like, going smaller and ortho, like, is really, really tough for me. 2019 year of titanium? Yeah, I think new materials are going to be kind of a thing. Titanium definitely probably being one of them. Geo gives 5 tier 1 subs. Holy crap. Nice, thank you for that, Geo. To Decidalone Tequila Shots, No Chance RPG, 14x71, and Mog Genius. Very nice. Thanks for that, Gio. You're the real MVP. Huangvu95 asking, haven't been active for a while, but when will the new host be joining you? Sorry in advance if this has already been addressed. No need to apologize. My new host, Jay, will be joining in January. So his very first Top Clack episode will be January 3rd. So we got about 20 days for that. So about 3 weeks. 21 days, yeah. So very soon. We're definitely getting closer for the appearance of Jay. Starstand3 asking, what will be the meme switch of 2019? Oh, man. I don't know. Here's what I think is going to happen. Someone's gonna get the holy pandas from Massdrop and find some kind of hybridization to do with those. So it'll be a hybridization of a hybridization. And to me, that's just going to be way too hilarious. But that's what I'm waiting for. Olivia just subs with a tier 1 sub for the 14th month in a row. Thank you for that, Olivia. Says, I am late, but now I am here. Yeah, you're catching the tail end of the stream, surely. But always happy to have you here, Olivia. Who's Jay? Poor Jay. Sorry, bud. So excited for the 24-hour stream. Yeah, me and Jay have to work out what we want to do for the 24-hour stream. Because I, for sure, want to do a 24-hour stream. Oh man, you guys are funny. When is the 24-hour stream? It probably won't be for a little bit. We have to plan it out first. I mean, at the earliest, it would be somewhere in January. At the earliest. Jay wants to, like, wait for summer or something. Pfft. Nah, man. Nah, man. I'll do a 24-1 by myself if I have to before then. I could certainly come up with 24 hours of keyboard work to do. Like, that is so easy for me. Outside stream? Yeah. We'll take a little walk around the park. Get up and do some calisthenics or whatever they're called. Olivia, you want to join us for the 24-hour stream? That'd be kind of cool. We could actually make it so we could just bring on a guest. Like, every hour or something, we'll bring on someone for, like, an hour, and we could just, like, talk to them or something. That'd be kind of cool. Like, bring on just, like, even just, like, random community members, like, people that just want to come and hang out, like, subs or something. That'd be very interesting. Take apart and re-lube every switch you have in rotation. I already have to, like, re-lube. I guess I'll have to re-lube one board. Anyways, guys, I'm not gonna trail on too long about this, guys. I'm gonna be heading off here. It's been about an hour and a half, and it's a pretty good place to end. I think I got through all of the questions. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on today's episode of Top Clack. Hope you had a good time and got some of that news going on. Discord link for our official Discord server is below the stream. If you guys maybe are not in there and you want to hang out with us, Discord server. It's a good place to hang out. There's something for everyone there. Our YouTube channel is also below the stream. You can check that out. I will have some new stuff going up hopefully pretty soon. I'm waiting on 1 or 2 pieces of equipment to do reviews a little bit better. So I have at least 2 new series on YouTube starting very soon. I already have planned out, and it's going to be really, really good stuff. So hopefully you guys subscribe there, check that stuff out, and yeah, just come hang out with us. Appreciate it, guys. Next week will be the Christmas special episode of Top Clack. That'll be on the 20th. So next Thursday's episode, I will have a special guest from the community that will be joining me, and I will be opening up some giveaway stuff for all of you guys. It's going to be really cool. You won't have to be present to win. It'll be a form that is open for at least several days, and then we'll announce the winner after that. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. We'll have some very, very cool stuff to give away, including, but not limited to, a Zeno group buy spot of your choice. So really cool stuff there. Make sure you come hang out for the next episode on the 20th, Christmas special. It'll be fun. It'll be very fun. So catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day or night. Peace, guys.